Good afternoon. We're here at the Transplant Games 2024 in Birmingham, Alabama, and we have here Bobby Howard. I know Bobby Howard. 2 years ago, we were able to get an update from you about your success in the Georgia and Atlanta. Big factor of your success of being advocating for donors or recipients as well. Can you provide us an update?
Sure. It's been a long time since 2 years ago in San Diego, but thank you guys for giving me this opportunity to come back to interview me again to see where I am today. But in the past 2 years, I've been doing a lot of work. A lot of things have gotten better. A lot of things have changed. We keep on trying to advocate for patients and to really understand the gift of life, for people to see that through the gift of life, so many lives can be impacted and so many lives can be changed. So, I always share, my story as well. 30 years ago, I received a life-saving kidney transplant. So I just believe that we have to give back. We have to do more because someone gave us a gift, and we have to be a gift to others.
Oh, perfect. Now, with that said in mind, any opportunities in the last 2 years that you see that it has been a factor of working in Atlanta, or I believe now you guys are working part of South Carolina now?
Yes, I think when you look at geographically and being in Atlanta, in the state of Georgia, we've done some marvelous things. My staff has increased. We've increased our outreach in the community. We increased our advocacy in the community. But our biggest goal and what we really try to do is make people aware not only that they can be organ and tissue donors, but we also want people to live healthier lives. So now we incorporated a Healthy Lives campaign to make sure that we're getting information out there about diet, exercise, and especially the importance of drinking and the value of drinking water.
Great. And what communities are you guys outreaching?
Well, right now we're concentrated on the African American and Hispanic communities, and we always look at the demographics to see what populations are coming into the state of Georgia, and then if those populations are growing, then we'll start doing outreach in those communities as well.
What are some factors that you feel that you're trying to focus on with those certain minority groups?
Well, some of the key factors is erasing some of the misperceptions and conceptions that people have about donation and transplantation. So I believe that you have to have the right messenger for the message. So getting people who look like those communities, people who speak the language, people who come from those communities, that's the big key, instead of bringing someone from the outside to do that type of work.
That's great. And what are some misconceptions that you hear out there, and what would you like to share with others to not, have those misconceptions and to donate more, or, things like that? What would you like to share with everyone?
The biggest misconception that we have going on now is that many people believe if they put organ donor on their driver's license, that no one's going to take care of them if they're in an accident. That's the biggest misconception that there is out there, because all healthcare professionals are here to save your life and do anything humanly possible to extend your life. But when all those options fail and there's nothing they can do, that's when donation comes up. So there's no fear of, if you register your decision to be an organ and tissue donor, that you're not going to get the proper treatment that you deserve from any healthcare or medical professional.
That's very important to know. What about just being a living donor? I know there's a lot of misconceptions out there, focusing on just being living donation for different organs as well.
Well, when you look at the African American and Hispanic community about living donation, I think the misconception and the not understanding is people don't believe that you can live with one kidney. That you can you have two, that you can donate one and you can still live. But I think the biggest issue in those minority communities is that the risk factors, because so many people in both those communities suffer from high blood pressure, diabetes, which may prevent you from being a living donor, because those are two of the comorbidities that lead to kidney failure in itself.
I agree. And just in terms of minorities, what do you feel in the African American population are limits or things that you see that are very common in that population that people may have that misconception that they may not be able to donate, or just how to answer, like, what do you think is the leading cause of needing a transplant in that population as well?
Well, it's overall health care. And so when you have failure and diminished healthcare but there's a lot of factors. You have socioeconomic factors, you have comorbidity factors, you have high blood pressure, diabetes, you have food deserts, you have all these things that are factors, social determinants of health that play a major role. So getting the community to understand that if we start changing the mindsets, changing the culture, changing how we used to live life, and accept some of the new things is like, it's even the way our diet, that we have to start changing our diet. We can't always eat fried food and fast food, that we have to start eating more vegetables, raw vegetables, and those type of things. But the most important thing, we have to filtrate our body with more water.
100%. And so it sounds like a big focus on that whole area that you're focusing on is just education. So how are you and your committee just trying to educate and get that word out there in the population?
Well, I'm old school, so I believe in being in the streets. I believe that you have to be out there. Media campaigns and billboards, all those are great, but they can't answer your question.
Agree.
So if you have the staff and you have foot soldiers who are out and part of the community, we can answer questions. We can put information out there, but we can also answer the questions because people have a lot of questions. But the biggest thing is I believe that we have to start teaching people. We do a whole lot of telling people what to do, but we're not teaching people what to do. So if we start doing more teaching, I think that will start changing mindsets and changing how people live their lives in the community.
It's almost like, kind of like what you're saying, just in terms of like bringing back to the similarities thing. It's like if we teach people, if we educate people and we show them how to do it, they're more likely to do it, and it's better in terms of like being like that person for them to follow those rules, right?
Absolutely. I think that's along with anything else that you have to have examples. And when you have examples in front of you and you start knowing how to do it, because you think about if you've been doing something one way your whole life, then all of a sudden someone just tells you to change it. They don't tell you how to change it.
You can't do it.
You can't do it.
Yeah.
Same thing with healthcare.
Yeah.
We have to start doing more teaching, and we have to really take the time to make sure that people get what we're trying to teach instead of saying, now go do this. If you want to improve your lifestyle, go do this. But we're not teaching them how to do it.
Agree. So this is really important. I know your main focus is here in Georgia, and you guys have one other state that you guys are trying to move out to. Well, what about me? I live in Arizona. Like, how can I do this in Arizona? How can JC do this in California? Like, what can we do? Or just anyone?
There's so many organizations across the country who are doing some of the same things that I'm doing in Georgia. But I think that the key thing is that once you are confident within yourself, that you believe that what you're doing and you have the message, you have to take it out to people. But I always recommend start with people that you know. Start with your people that you know, because they will be honest and tell you the truth. If you're good at it or if you're not good at it. And then they will give you that feedback that you need to continue to move further. Then once you start doing those things, then you start bringing people into the fold, bringing people who have the same ideas, the same beliefs that you do, and want to see the community grow and be better. And then you start building a team of people, and then now you have an army. Then when you have an army, you can go out and start making effects on those communities.
And can we reach out to you and your organization to get help with this, or would you like to share with everyone?
Sure.
Like,
I mean,
the name of your organization?
Please.
How
Well,
can
my
we do
organization
this?
is LifeLink of Georgia, but there's a lot of organizations. I'm a part of an organization called the National Multicultural Action Group that I'm kind of the chair of at the current time. But please, for our National Multicultural Action Group, which I think would be the best because we are more national, is that you can just go to our website, which is nmag1.org. And there's information there, and then there's a phone number that you can call. We can work with other organizations across the country to teach people how to go out and do more community service.
And what was the name of the award that you wanted to share with everyone that you're trying to promote?
Oh, yes. There's an award, the Dr. Clive Callender Award. Dr. Clive Callender, who's a very good friend of mine. He's an African-American transplant surgeon, and he was actually here, but I think he went home today. But a great guy, but we have an award that we wanted this award to be named after him in his honor to recognize someone who's from the minority communities, the multicultural communities, who's doing some excellent work out there in the field of organ, eye, and tissue donation. And we want people to apply for that award. I was one of the first winners of the award, recipients of the award a couple years ago. It's only the fourth year This will be the 4th year that we've given out the award. So I think that if you're out there doing some work pertaining to organ, iron, tissue donation, transplantation, if you're someone from the minority multicultural community, please apply. If you want more information, they can go to nmag1.org to get more information about the Dr. Clive Callender Excellence Award.
That's great. We need to give that award out to many people to help, keep doing what you're doing. That's amazing.
Yeah.
And just on a last note, what would you like to tell everyone about the transplant games and just donation in general?
Well, the transplant games are wonderful. I've been coming to the transplant games since 1996 was my first games that I've ever attended. It's just a wonderful opportunity not only to compete at different type of events, but it's a great opportunity to meet people who are like you. I think sometimes you feel that you're all alone in this journey that you're on, but there are people here just like you from all over the country. There's other people from other parts of the world that are here this year. So the games are wonderful. It's fun. They're exciting. There's so many great things to do. Great food here in Birmingham. Great people to meet. Like I just met you guys
Yes.
a couple days ago. So, it's a great opportunity to come. And, I don't know where they're going to be in the next 2 years, but if you're out there and you have a transplant, or if you're waiting for a transplant, you're a donor family member, please consider coming to the Transplant Games of America in the year 2026.
Amazing.
Well, thank you for your time, Howard. And were you able to participate at any games?
No,
this year?
I don't.
As a former athlete, or you're still an athlete?
I gave up participating. I just felt that's what I did. I was an athlete, but it's not about me. It's about people who are on a journey, who has a second chance at life. And for some, this is the first time they've competed in anything. And then why would I want to compete to overshadow that when at one point in time that was my profession? So I sit back and I enjoy and I cheer others on.
Perfect. Well, thank you for your time. You're very passionate, and you wear different hats. So we applaud you for that. For your advocacy.
Well, thank you for the interview and the opportunity.
Thank you.